Hola clase y bienvenidos a la lección del subjuntivo en las cláusulas nominales. Good morning class and welcome to today's lesson on the present subjunctive in noun clauses in Spanish. Listen to the following story and see if you can identify verbs that use the present subjunctive form. ¿Listos? Un día Juan decidió dar voz a todas las quejas que había guardado dentro por tanto tiempo, demasiado tiempo. Salió de la casa directamente en rumbo al centro comercial. Quiero que me escuches, mundo. ¿Me oyes? Quiero que me oigas. Óyeme, mundo. Espero que me des lo que me debes, lo que merezco. El mundo se manifestó en la forma de un perro negro. Lo que mereces. Mira, Juan, es importante que sepas que lo que mereces tú consiste en las tres cosas que merecen todos los seres humanos de mi planeta: la vida, la libertad y la justicia. Ojalá entiendas eso. No me digas, mundo, ¿no crees que yo trabaje duro? ¿Dudas que yo siempre haga un esfuerzo? ¿Que yo nunca me dé por vencido? ¿Que siempre vaya a luchar en esta vida? Ah, Juan, pobre Juancito. Me gusta que pienses que mereces tanto por tus pocos esfuerzos, pero en realidad no pienso que hagas mucho en general. Me sorprende que creas tal cosa, en serio. Es malo que no reconozcas la realidad. Y dime, por favor, mundo, ¿qué realidad es esa? Pues simplemente es la realidad donde a todos les pasan las cosas que realmente merecen. Bueno, a veces. No quiero que me hables más, me voy. Y con eso Juan continuó con su viaje. De repente una roca enorme le cayó encima. Pobre Juan. Here's the transcription of the story. Now, underline all the verbs in the present subjunctive. Bien? There they are. What is the subjunctive? The subjunctive is not a tense like the present or past or future, but rather a mood. And it's a mood that deals with conveying emotions, feelings, doubts, desires, judgments, and similar concepts. In Spanish, there's also the indicative mood, and the verb forms of the indicative are the present, the preterite, the imperfect, the future and the conditional, and the perfect tenses and progressive ones. A lot of what you've seen already. And then there's a third mood, the imperative mood, which is commands, like do this, don't do that. Bien? Do we have subjunctive in English? Sort of. If you use the verb to be after certain phrases of necessity, which also set it up in Spanish, then you don't conjugate it, and it's technically considered the subjunctive, I think. For example, it's important that Juan be here. It's important that Juan be here. That first part, the it's important that, sets up the form of subjunctive in English, which is using be instead of conjugating it for Juan, which would be it's important that Juan is here. It's important that Juan's here, which may sound more correct to your English-speaking ear. And that's because we use that form more. How do you form the present subjunctive in Spanish? Take the yo form of the present indicative, the regular present, if you will. Take the o off, the end of the yo form, and then add the following endings. For AR verbs, es, hemos, en. For ER and IR, add a, as, amos, an. And if you look at these, the endings for AR verbs in the present subjunctive all start with with e's. And for ER and IR, they all start with a, which is kind of like the opposite endings. And you may have had Spanish teachers say that to form the present subjunctive, you do the following steps. Yo drop up, which is Spanish teacher slang or lingo for put the verb in the yo form, take off the o, put the opposite ending. Bien. So every yo form ends in an o that you can take off, right? There's some irregular present subjunctive verbs, 6 specific ones, and here they are. Dar, which is this in the present subjunctive. Yo de, tú des, él de, nosotros demos, ellos den. Ir, vaya, tú vayas, él vaya. First and third person is the same. Nosotros vayamos, ustedes vayan. Ser, yo sea, tú seas, él sea, seamos, sean. A ver, haya, ellas, haya, hayamos, hayan. Estar, estés, estemos, estén. And saber, sepa, sepamos, sepan. Why are these irregular? Because, think about the yo forms of these verbs. In the present indicative, dar is doy. There's no o to take off. Ir is boy. Ser, soy. Haber is e. Estar, estoy. Saber, se. So, these have irregular forms in the present subjunctive. Stem changing verbs. In the present subjunctive, they are still stem changing or shoe verbs or boot verbs, what have you. So, pensar still changes from e to ie, like it does in the present indicative. Piense. You change the o to an e because it's an AR verb. Piense, pienses, piense. But pensemos and then piensen. The nosotros form does not have a stem change. So, the white verbs kind of look like a shoe, if you can picture it. Here is a tricky little twist that Spanish throws at us. IR verbs that are stem changing, shoe or boot verbs, in the present indicative. In the present subjunctive, they do the stem change like normal. Sentir. It's going to change to sienta, since it's an IR verb, and the subjunctive it ends in an a. Sienta, sienta, sienta. Ellos sientan. But in the nosotros form, it does get a stem change, but it's not e to ie like the present indicative. It's e to I like the preterite third person él and ellos forms. Verbs that end in car, or gar, or sar with a ZAR change like they do in the preterite yo form, but for the present subjunctive, they change for every pronoun. So tocar, yo toque, tú toques, se toquen, nosotros toquemos, ellos toquen, all with a QUE, no accents. Pagar, pague, pagues, pague, paguemos, paguen, and then empezar, empiece, empieces, empiece with a C. Empecemos, because that is also a stem changing verb. Empiecen. Bien. Subjunctive in noun clauses is what this lesson is dealing with. So now you have seen how to form it. Now, how do you use this? A noun clause is a dependent clause that ends up functioning like a noun. Bien. Look at the examples. I hope you learn things. What do I hope? I hope a thing. You're hoping something, and that you learn things clause works as a noun, hence the title. I hope you learn things in Spanish is espero que aprendas cosas. That que aprendas cosas clause functions like a noun. I doubt he knows. Dudo que él sepa. So what's happening here? The first verb is not subjunctive. Espero is present indicative. Dudo is present indicative. But it sets up subjunctive in that for the second verb, for the dependent clause. Espero que aprendas. Aprendas is subjunctive. Dudo que él sepa. Sepa is subjunctive. It's necessary that Juan be here. Es necesario que Juan esté aquí. Es is not subjunctive, but es necesario sets up subjunctive. So, the first verb is determining whether or not the dependent clause verb is subjunctive. Creo que tú, Jacobo, creo que eres Jacobo. So, creo que does not set up subjunctive. I think that you're Jacob. But look at this. No creo que tú, No creo que tú seas. Que seas. No creo que is an expression of doubt. I don't believe so. Verbs that convey doubt set up subjunctive in a dependent clause. And here's some categories. Verbs that deal with necessity set up subjunctive in the next clause for the next verb. Like to need, necesitar. Verbs that deal with uncertainty or doubt, like dudar, to doubt. No creer, negar, no pensar. Those set up subjunctive with the next verb. Verbs of desire, like querer, desear, esperar. Those verbs set up subjunctive. And verbs of emotion, like tener miedo, estar triste, estar alegre, estar enojado. So these are categories of verbs that will introduce the subjunctive with the verb that comes after them in a different clause. Also, we could throw this category in judgment. I couldn't fit the J in my acronym. Es bueno, es malo, es justo, es normal, es absurdo. Those verb phrases also set up subjunctive. And how do these sentences work? So you've got the one clause that has a verb that fits into one of those categories we just went over: necessity, uncertainty, desire, emotion, judgment. And then you have the conjunction que, and then a second subject and verb that is subjunctive. Now the word que doesn't set up subjunctive. Only the meaning of the first verb determines whether or not the second verb is subjunctive. I want Juan to win. Quiero que Juan gane. Now what's the problem here? That doesn't go literally with English. We don't say, I want that Juan win. At least in America. Am I right? So anyway, you have I want, which is one subject, I, and a verb, want. And what are you wanting? You're wanting somebody else, Juan, to win. In Spanish, if you have two different subjects, like I and Juan, two different clauses in this structure, you've got to connect them with que, and you've got to conjugate the second verb. Even though in English we say to win, that might make you think ganar, but in Spanish you have to conjugate it. Quiero que Juan gane, subjunctive. Now, if you do have two verbs but the same subject, then in most cases you don't need que, the conjunction, and you don't need to conjugate it. I want to win. I goes with both verbs in this case. Quiero ganar. Muy bien, ahora van a practicar un poco. Conjuguen estos verbos en el presente del subjuntivo en español, por favor. ¿Listos? Perfecto, aquí tenemos las respuestas, las formas del presente del subjuntivo. Bien. Now, you're going to translate verb phrases into the present subjunctive in Spanish, but if you look at these, I am on its own would just be the present indicative. So pretend that every single one of these is set up by the phrase, it's good that, which is a judgment, which introduces subjunctive. It's good that I am. It's good that you have. It's good that he says. It's good that she says. So put these all in the present subjunctive. Bien. Respuestas. There they are. Now, you're going to put some full sentences into Spanish. After you do that, use these symbols on the left to identify the part of speech of each word in the sentence. ¿Listos? I hope you play the oboe. I hope to play the oboe. One day, Pablo wants you to go and give a no. Hope you sleep, but you hope we sleep. I believe you know, but I don't believe that you don't know. I don't know that Pablo's angry. It's normal that Pablo is crying. ¿Listos? Número uno. Espero que toques el oboe. Espero que toques, subjunctive. Número dos. Espero tocar el oboe un día. With number two, I goes with esperar and tocar, so you don't need que, you don't need to conjugate. Número tres. Pablo quiere que vayas y lees y sepas. What Pablo wants there sets up subjunctive for all three of those verbs. They all go with Pablo quiere que. More. Espero que duermas, pero esperas que durmamos. Two subjunctives. Nosotros, dormir es durmamos. Creo que sabes, pero no creo que no sepas. Creo que does not set up subjunctive, but no creo que does. No sé que Pablo está enojado. This one's confusing. You would think that no saber would set up subjunctive. But it doesn't. It's not doubt. It's not like no creo. It's just the lack of knowledge. So no saber que does not set up subjunctive. Y para terminar, es normal que Pablo llore o esté llorando. Bien.